Well, it's going to be an exciting show. Bobby's dropped into the studio. What's your show going to be about this week, Bobby?
Michael, I've got a doozy for all the listeners out there. Something sort of leads to business, but it's sort of non-business related. I'm talking about your personal and business, well, more personal, non-negotiables. Your daily habits, rituals, passion.
Oh, when you talk like this, why are non-negotiables so important? What's going to be so important about listening to this particular show?
What people are going to hear is the reason why as a business owner, why your mind needs to be in check before you can operate a successful business. And that's where these non-negotiables come into play. So stay tuned, everyone.
Couple of hints. What are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about making sure you exercise daily.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about make sure, well, I want to, read every day.
Yeah.
And most importantly, grilled burgers on Friday night.
Stay tuned. Hey, don't forget to, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to Bobby's channel. Hit that little bell and you'll be notified when new shows come up. But we're about to start, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too.
Interesting week, and we were just talking about some of the priorities we put in place. And as a tax, people think, well, Bobby's a tax agent, but you're actually a business builder.
That's exactly right.
And what I love about that, and you were talking off air before we started the show about how you've got certain things that you do and certain successful business people do, and they just refuse to not do them.
That's exactly right. I like to call those things your non-negotiables. So something that I'd like to tell everyone about what I do and what Crystal and I do in our busy day and business week is we go to grilled burgers every Friday night after the office.
That's the healthy burger joint.
Healthy, but we'll call it healthy burger joint. Healthier. But that is our non-negotiable. It's our effective date night every week because we understood, well, for the first 18 months really, business for us was 24/7. That's all we did. We didn't see friends, we didn't see family. We just literally stuck to ourselves and building the business, which I know that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
But now it's come to a point where, hey, we're at a point where we can actually, I wouldn't say relax, but we can spend some time with each other. Okay. And that's where the grilled Friday nights came to.
Wow. When you have a look at things like that, so we hear often in business, successful business people put in what they call their things that make them successful, habits. And they go, these are, as you phrase it, non-negotiables. And the rule is, if it's non-negotiable, it's non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable, exactly.
When you're dealing with business owners and you're helping them build, is this one of the things you start talking to them about and start prioritizing certain things that these are the things that will get you to the success level?
Most definitely, Michael, because if you simply just operate your business day in, day out, you will resent your business. You'll resent working for yourself. And because, as everyone knows, when you're getting paid by an employer, you work 35, 40 hours a week, you get your 4 weeks annual leave, you get your 10 days sick leave every year, in Australia anyway. So it's something which, you can't do as a business owner because we don't have that opportunity. No. Holidays are a luxury, unfortunately. So yeah, you mentioned it's habits, and I like to call those daily rituals. So what do you do on a daily basis that to better yourself mentally, to better your business?
It's funny you're saying get yourself mentally ready, and I think that's one of the things. People getting overwhelmed, and I'm a list maker. Because I don't know about people watching over it, but I used to go home, and in my head I'm going, I can't forget this tomorrow, I can't forget that tomorrow. Then in the car on the way, I want to get to work today, I've got to remember this, I've got to remember, and it was just like 24/7 driving me nuts. And it took me a little while to get used to it, but at the end of each day, I sit down and I just spend 5 minutes, that's it. And I go, what are my key things I need to do tomorrow? There's lots of little things, but I write down my key things that I really think will help me grow my business, that is serve my clients better, get jobs done.
Yes.
So I find those what I call my priority list, and I just stick that sitting on the desk, and then I go home.
Exactly right.
It took me a while not to do it in the car. It's still on the way. No, I've got my list. I don't have to do it anymore.
That's exactly right, Michael. You've hit the nail on the head. Your daily list, make it 3 to 5 things each day which you can physically, and I like to write them down or have them on an office whiteboard, because then you can physically cross them off. And that
feels good when you cross them off.
Exactly. So instead of you just going, oh, I've done that, cool, you can physically cross it off, and you get that, I guess, mental and personal, hey, that's a tick, that's a job well done. Yeah. I'm nearly on my way to finishing my list for the day. Whether you can go home after that list is done, that would be fantastic, but most likely not.
That could be a reward at grill burgers.
Yeah, there you go, exactly right. So yeah, I'm very big on creating lists, creating daily habits, making your non-negotiables non-negotiable without fail. Book them in the calendar. If you want to go to the gym 4 times a week, book it in your calendar so you wake up at 5 a.m. or you go to the gym at 9 p.m., whatever it chooses, but you make sure that you book it in. Read a book. One of my goals, which I'm not pursuing to the best of my ability, unfortunately, I want to read 20 minutes a day.
Oh.
Anything. It doesn't have to be business related.
Yeah.
Be a novel. It can be fiction, comic book, whatever. I just want to read for 20 minutes a day, just to zen out a little bit.
That's a really good goal. I agree with you. I think we set off with that intention as a business owner.
Yes.
Look, I'll read, I'll get myself upskilled. But as business gets busy, we drop those things. You said one thing though, and I know it's a passion of yours, and that is fitness.
Yes.
Now, I know you and Crystal, you go to the gym, you work out, but even down to doing just getting up and going for a walk. That's my ritual. Yeah. I actually get up and I go for a walk. I take the dog. Good excuse as well.
Exactly.
And when it's raining,
he's still having to do it.
He's still at the door going, take me for my walk. But I found that actually clears my mind for the day. It actually sets me going. How important do you think having fitness as part of your ritual, some kind of exercise part of your ritual, as getting you towards that success?
I think it's imperative, Michael. Healthy mind equals a healthy business. That's our motto. Healthy mind and body equals a healthy business. Reason being is because one, you can be more energized, you get less fatigued, you can sleep better because you are actually tiring your body out physically, so you do sleep better, and that leads to a more productive day. So we changed our routine. Instead of working in the business in the office till 9 p.m, then making it to the gym at 10 p.m. and whatnot. We've reverted that to change ourselves from night owls to early risers. So we now get up at 5 a.m. every day, or nearly every day on gym days. And I know, right? And
I'm sitting here going, what, Bobby? Early riser?
5 a.m. we get to the gym for our 6 a.m. workout.
Wow. And
we're there for about an hour and a half, go home, day's done. The gym workout is done. That's another thing. Having that already a big task of ours is to do exercise.
Yes.
So if that's on your list of 5 things to do for that day, you've already ticked that off before 8 a.m.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Now, I know one of the big things you're always saying about being able to work on your business, and that's great when clients, and you coach clients and you have them with the business. So not just doing their books, but you actually coach them through growing. And they talk about working on the business. You know, when someone's starting or they're in a business, they go, look, I'm just too busy. What's your technique to get them? Do you go, right, block out a certain amount of time on a certain day each week where you can just step back? Or how do you do that?
That's exactly it. Calendars are very important.
Right.
We've got our Thursdays are usually our business development days. So all day Thursday. Other days are for business. Sundays as well, we do a bit of personal and business development, but we try to keep it more personal and leave the business development for Thursdays. But yes, when you're growing a business, when you're starting, it can be hard. Yes. In fact, it is hard. We found it very difficult to do when we started because all you want to do is just make money. That's all I want to do.
Hey, that's a good point, isn't it?
It is a very good point. However, you have to look back and say, am I here for the short term or am I here for the long term? Doing it for the short term, cool, go make money, hustle hard, whatever. But if you want to do it for long term, you need to plan, you need to make networks, you need to get procedures in place, you need to get systems in place. all those ideas which you can't do when you're generating income. You have to do it, you have to take a step back, literally block off that time, work on the business, work on your marketing, work on whatever it needs to be. But that's something which we feel is imperative. It doesn't have to be a full day, it can be half a day. But as long as you make that half day as productive as possible, no issue whatsoever.
Interesting, I picked up something you were saying then. I know it's a passion of yours as well. Networking. And some people say, I'm just too busy. And networking can be a great source of growing your business as not just getting clients, but knowledge as well.
Yeah, definitely. Networking for me, it comes a little bit easy. I'm okay with public speaking, and I like to talk to people, and it's a downfall and a pro for me as well. I know Crystal yells at me all the time, you talk to people too much, but walking through Mount Lawley, it doesn't matter on a weekend or a weekday, I get, hey Bobby, how you going? So know everyone, that's okay, I don't mind that. But networking, not just for growing your business, growing your knowledge, and just growing the people that you get to meet.
Yes.
Yeah, whether they become clients of yours, whether they become referral partners, it doesn't matter. Whether you can help somebody with your network. So the recent meetup we went to, we went to together, and I spoke with a gentleman who owns a glamping business.
Yes.
He was having an issue with some metal fabrication. So, hey, listen, I've got a metal fabricator client that might be right up your alley. Tee them up together, and they're talking now. So. No benefit for me whatsoever, except for the fact that I'm helping two small business owners wanting to grow their business.
Yeah, and as you say, you don't know where that comes, and the glamping is glamour camping, isn't it?
That's the one.
And he's doing some. We'll get him in for a chat. We'll get him in with you.
I think that'll be good. Yeah,
he's pretty cool character. So when you're looking at priorities, when you're looking at growing your business, and I guess people say, well, I want to grow my business, I want to get some more clients, I want to make some more money. So prioritizing, we're going, let's make some lists so we get our head organized so we don't get overwhelmed. Do you find that business owners, when they come to you, do get overwhelmed on tasks that perhaps they shouldn't be doing?
Definitely. Definitely. Don't get me started with this.
I'm holding my hand up and going, Bobby's going, yeah, you too.
You too, exactly. I'm very big on outsourcing.
Yeah.
Whether it's your bookkeeping, whether it's your home cleaning, whether it's your meals that you buy, it doesn't matter what it is. Or let's say if in business sense, you may be the business owner and you're literally taking all the calls and dealing with all the menial tasks. You can hire someone for $20, $25 an hour to be doing your PA work. You know, if you're there to do the income generating side of things, what are you an expert at? That's what we like to call it. What are you an expert at?
Yep.
And a genius.
Right.
Do those tasks only. Literally outsource the rest.
Yeah. You know, people talk about outsourcing, and I must admit, I've gone through that challenge myself, and they say, I can't afford it. You know, and bookkeeping, I will say, is a classic, because if you don't get it done, the ramifications get a little bit hairy, because you're dealing with our friendly people at the tax office.
Exactly right.
Having said that, however, I've dealt with our friendly people at the tax office, and I've actually found them very friendly. They've been very
If you get the right one, unfortunately.
Yeah. But honestly, the ones I've had have gone, tell me your circumstances, this is how you're going to deal with it, and they give you some instructions. As long as you follow their instructions,
exactly,
you tend to be okay. Your accountant tends to cringe and go, you better come and see me. But bookkeeping, they say, I can't afford it, it must be expensive, it must be difficult, I don't know what to give to my bookkeeper. How do you answer questions like that?
I answer that question simply by, what could you be doing better in your day? So, is bookkeeping a part of your 5 priority list for the day?
Right.
Is there something else which would be far more beneficial for you to knock the bookkeeping off list to add it in? So to be more income generating.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, I don't know, you're a hairdresser, let's say, and you don't want to outsource your books. You're spending 3-4 hours a week, maybe more, doing your books, reconciling everything the old school way. In that 3-4 hours, how many haircuts could you do, or what could you do to a marketing campaign? Or even better, you could spend it with your wife or husband or children.
True.
So it's like, what do you value more? Yeah. $77 to pay someone to do your bookkeeping per hour, or your time with your family? But that's a real big drastic, outline of the outsourcing component. But it needs to be. What can you be doing better?
And I suppose for a small business that perhaps doesn't have a lot of transactions going on because you're just starting to build, the bookkeeping services are probably going to be only an hour or so a week, not going to be 10 or 20 hours.
Exactly right. So people, when they think of bookkeeping, they think, it takes me a full day to do it. I'm going to pay a professional to do a full day. Well, one, we're the professionals and we can do it in a more fluid way, and we're productive in that time. You may be having a coffee, you may be watching TV, you may think you'd be spending a full day, but it may, like you said, may only really take you an hour for a professional to do.
Yeah, and with the new online systems, it's really easy to.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, and absolutely fantastic. So, talk about getting. So someone says, "I'm growing my business. I want to." So, what other things can you prioritise to go get clients? What do you do to build your client base? What's on your priority list?
I make sure I keep in touch with current clients.
Okay, so that should go on your list.
That's one of our marketing go-tos every week, every day.
Right.
Keep in touch with a current client, not necessarily asking for referrals, but simply touching base and say, how are you going? Whether it's a phone call with our premium clients, whether it's a custom email to other clients, or whether it's a generic email. We're always in the front of mind for clients on a regular basis.
That's a great thing. There's some great things you can actually talk to clients about their body, because I think a lot of people go, I have a contact and they'll just think I'm trying to sell them something.
Yes.
Well, you're making the habit of, oh no, you're just cashing up, making sure they're okay.
That's all it is. That's what I love to do, and it's taking time out of my day. But whose accountant calls you for nothing?
Yeah.
The only time where I've worked in previous firms, the only time I've called a client was because, you've got another bill from the tax office, so it's always, it's in their eyes, it's bad news.
Yeah.
So when I like to call people, I say, hey, no bad news today. It's all, how you going? Anything we can help you with? Yeah. How's your wife and kids? How's your business? How's your job? Whatever it may be.
Do you do it by phone calls, Bobby?
I love doing phone calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that personal, interaction is imperative. It's not as great as face to face and shaking hands, which I love to do as well. But everyone's time is precious, so I love doing it with a 5-minute phone call. Yeah.
And how many what do you think is a good number of calls to make per day, or does it just depend on your size of your client base?
It really depends on your client base. I mean, if you've got 3 major clients in your business, let's say you consult to three people, then obviously you're in contact with them quite regularly.
Yeah.
So if you're on that basis, make your next call to them a personal one. Yeah. Nothing to do with business, and just say, how you going?
Yeah, fantastic. There was a habit that I saw, one of the guys who was growing his business, and what he did with all his clients, he found out what they were interested in.
Yes. And
then once a week, he'd just scan the internet, isn't Google great, find an article and go, hey, I saw this and thought of you, and ping it across to them.
Exactly.
And they loved it. And sometimes they'd go back and say, yeah, saw that one, and oh no, I didn't see that, thanks for that. But I just thought it was great by doing those sorts of things.
I just thought of something great as you were talking. Facebook.
Yes.
I'm friends with a lot of our customers on Facebook. Our personal friends, not just on our business page.
Yep.
And I do exactly that. I know what this person likes, and I tag something funny in, or if they're a gym enthusiast, or if they're into cars or whatever, I tag them in it. And hey, it's like, oh, geez, he's tagging me in something. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's breaching that gap between just cold customers to actually, hey, we're building a relationship here. And we know that relationships are so important if you want longevity in your business.
I know some clients don't really want that friendship; they just want a purely business, and I'm very open to that. I treat that relationship carefully, and I don't try to blend. It's against what I like to do. I love to be friends with everyone. Like I said before, downfall and pro at the same time. But it's how we've built our business, and I think our personality of being the non-typical accountant. That's how we've grown so successfully.
You mentioned non-typical accountant, and you grow your business quite cleverly, I think, because you have gone. you've actually gone, okay, who's our customer? And most of your customers are business owners in this realm.
Yes.
And you've gone, well, what do they want? And they want to grow their business. So you've gone, well, hold on, we're accountants, we can help grow, look after the numbers. But because you've done so many businesses, you've got so many business ideas and you can see what other people are doing, you've gone, well, let's add an extra service in here where we can share these ideas, look at your, and maybe suggest ways. So you've got this consultancy arm that has made your business very holistic.
That's exactly right. We felt that it went hand in hand with our with already accounting knowledge. We know your numbers, we understand business. Let's help you with those other things which non-traditional accountants can't really do. I know we spoke about this before. When you go see your accountant, when's the last time they asked what's your sales strategies, what's your marketing strategies, what are your team building exercises, how are you getting your staff, what's your I guess interview checklist. So we go through a lot of these things with our premium clients in the mentoring and consulting arm, and even in our 90-day reviews, we go, hey, these are the little things which you can do.
So a business owner's looking is going, well, maybe I may be the panel beater, or I might be the lawnmower guy, but they can perhaps have a look and go, hold on, what else could I add? I'm here anyway.
Yes.
What can I add value add that's congruent with what I do?
Exactly.
That the clients will appreciate.
Definitely. We recently had our 90-day review. We've got another one coming up at the end of May, after the BAS quarter, which ends in March.
Yeah.
Or has ended in March. So
thanks for the reminder.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So we do that, and we go with a handful of people, 5 to 10 people in our boardroom on a Sunday. And it was very successful. Our first one we ran earlier this year, and it's business owners from all different industries. Some have started, some have been in business for multiple years. However, it's something everyone walked away learning one thing, taking away one thing. That's all I say. If you go to a seminar, if you go to an event, if you go to a networking event, whatever it may be, if you can take away one thing that you didn't know before, or you could go, hey, maybe I can do that. It wasn't I wouldn't say waste of time, but it's been productive.
Yeah, you do them once a quarter, do you, Bob?
Once a quarter.
So once a quarter. So when it's a company or a business now growing, maybe mum and dad would ever want to grow their business. Is that something you'd be saying, like, one of your priorities now is it doesn't have to be a daily priority, we can have a quarterly priority.
Exactly.
We do a half day, with a Sunday or whenever, to work on the business, and perhaps with some other business owners, so you can learn off each other.
Exactly. Like I was saying, you've got new startups, you've got existing business owners, all with differing ideas. And the existing business owner might be slightly older in business, so 40s, 50s, not in tune with the current technology, whereas the new startups, they're very in tune. So hey, everyone can learn from one side on the business experience and the other side the new age technology, and everyone learns something. And it's imperative, because it's not only about learning new things, it's more so looking at a realistic view of what happened in the last 90 days. We focused on sales. What was your sales outcome? Why did you get that outcome? And how can you better that the next 90 days?
Yeah, it reminds me with a lady that used to do consulting work, and she'd start with new biz, and they'd go, I'm going to make 7-figure income in my first year. And and how much did you make this week? Nothing. And it was like, well, a few dollars. And she'd go, okay, you've got to move in bands. Let's set, what's your base? We were talking about this for our business, weren't we?
Yes.
And you get to your first band, so I suppose pricing models start to come in as one of those priorities to when are you going to review? Do you say, well, when I'm turning over X amount, I review pricing? Or do you say how long you've been in business you review? How do you work your model on that?
It's hard to say, because every business has its own skill set. Obviously with retail, that's another different kettle of fish as well. So you've got your cost of your goods and whatnot. But when it comes to service industries, I like to look at how long have you been in the industry, what's your knowledge, what are you doing on a weekly, yearly, monthly, yearly basis to better and upskill yourself. So that's what we do with a lot of personal trainers, and I say, cool, you may not be able to charge $200 an hour when you first start out. You may be having to chuck $50 an hour. But when you get up to a bit more experience, upskill yourself with new, I guess, techniques and whatnot, then hey, what value are your clients getting? That's the main thing. What value are you providing to your customers?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it? So that's one of those review questions.
Yeah. So that's exactly right. I told you before, we've done that in our own business. We felt the price that we were charging wasn't indicative to the value we were providing our clientele, and we increased our prices, and 99% of people said, you know what, I agree.
It's interesting when you're talking about and you're adding value to clients. And I guess we've always been in it, but we're in this generation now where we've seen these monumental changes with technology. We're seeing certain industries disappear.
Yes.
So when you review with clients and someone says, this is my priority, is one of the priorities to make sure you're still relevant or have a look at where trends are going? Because I don't know about you, but I see a lot of trends going, that used to be a business and it's no longer here.
Exactly. It's what's relevant and what's your longevity in the game. It doesn't matter what industry it is, technology is taking over. And there's, for example, the cloud bookkeeping software. 10 years ago, you had teams of multiple bookkeepers in your business, all driving out and about to different clients and stuff like that. Now, you may just have one bookkeeper doing it all online.
I'm trying to say, I used to have this big ledger I used to open up and do these double entries.
There you go, exactly. On paper, it's gone paper, it's gone to a desktop computer, and it's now onto the internet on cloud bookkeeping. So
and just anyone can access it, and it's just instant. Like accountants and people like yourself can get real-time data.
Definitely.
There's no guessing. You don't have to ask me.
Exactly.
You're just going, this is it, and you
exactly. So for us, if we don't do the bookkeeping, we hound you to make sure it's up to date because we want to give you the right up-to-date advice. And then comes the question, I don't have time to do it. Well, now's the time for you to outsource it. So what we do, we always train our clients with the software package and allow them to give it a crack themselves. We're not here to sell our services to you. Cool. Because we understand that it is more time effective now to do it yourself with the cloud software, linking in the bank accounts and whatnot. By having all those better systems in place, it may take you only an hour a week. Oh, I can find an hour a week to do that on a Sunday night before I start the week on Monday. Or, you know what? It's only an hour a week. I don't even want to look at it. You guys do it.
It's interesting when you phrase it like that. I was just thinking then, I wonder how many of us in business can be saying to our clients, look, if I train you in this part, I've skilled you in it. You can do it yourself. And if it's only an hour a week, fantastic. But you may still just hand it back to me. But your reputation seems to grow, well, does grow. So I suppose for business owners, one of the priorities they could put on is, what parts could I be helping my clients understand better or be able to do for themselves?
Exactly right. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether it's lawn mowing, you might be the weekly lawn mowing route for that street. You don't do their gardening because they want to do it themselves. Just give them some tips and tricks. Or maybe you can put some, better manure on the lawn to make it look, on the garden bed to make it look better. And then, I have to go. That means the person thinking in the head, I have to go to the shop. I have to buy the manure. I have to buy the fertilizer. I have to buy this treatment for the I guess the caterpillars that are coming on the plants and stuff like that. And it's like, can you do it? All you've done is literally said, this is what you need to do. This is how you do it. You've trained that person how to do it. And they really can't be bothered.
No.
So you've now generated a new income from that same customer.
I've always had a rule of thumb. The more you educate your customers, the more they will use you. Because one, you're showing your credibility, and two, they're going, well, you're actually sharing. I can do it myself if I want. You're giving me up. You're not trapping me into anything. You know, one of the things that I've always got into a business, and every business I've had, I've got the same mindset. The day I walk in is I'm planning the day I walk out. I don't know when that's going to be. But I had a baker, he was a French pastry chef, and fantastic guy. And every pastry shop he opened, he put a calendar on the wall that he'd print up on Google with the sale day.
Really?
That day, it goes for sale. That's how strict he was.
That keeps you accountable.
Wow.
Keeps you very accountable to your goal.
And I'm going, oh my goodness. He said, no, some people may not put that exact date, but they go, well, approximately in 3 years, 5 years, I'm going to sell. But that then allows someone like yourself to work with a business owner and say, well, to get it there,
Yes.
you can now reverse engineer, basically.
That's what I was exactly going to say, reverse engineer.
Yeah.
What's your goal that you want to hit?
Yeah.
Where are you now? What do you need to do in that time frame or period to get to there?
Yeah.
That's it.
Prioritizing. I was taught a system once because a lot of the times, and I don't know about people watching, but when I very first started this myself, it was like I got no idea where to start. And one guy said, okay, there's a manual diary, pen and paper. And he said, every 15 minutes, what you write down what you've done in the past 15 minutes.
Yep.
And he said, do it for 2 or 3 weeks, get in the habit. And he said, patterns will form. And from that, you'll start to see important, urgent, putting out those fires, because you didn't do the job in the first place. And he said, but you'll find stuff in there, you go, why did I do that? And it's amazing. He showed me one client he did it with who went from working, I think, 60, 70 hours using what you're saying, making priorities, and he was working 30 hours.
That's right.
It was like, when he said it, was like, no, show me this system. Do you do things like that yourself? Do you do reviews on what you're actually doing each day?
As accountants, we do track timesheet entries. So we do track that for logging time that we spent with client and important notes and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I may have been at the office for a full 10, 12 hours. Then you find out your timesheet entry and go, oh geez, I was only billing an hour of my day today. So then you look back and go, what did I actually do today that was actually productive and effective? Could I have left at 3 p.m. instead of being here till 7, 8 p.m. at night? So we do exactly that. So it's logging in our timesheet entry. So your diary entry was effectively your timesheet.
Yes.
And then you look back and go, what was productive? What was not productive? And was it chargeable? And if it wasn't chargeable, was it in that productive or not productive pile? So we look at that and go, was I spending a little bit too long on my phone, on Facebook? Or was I on a decent call with a new potential client? Was it a marketing client? So you've got, in that essence, you've got in our case, a non-chargeable time for both categories. One being non-important at all, being on Facebook.
Yeah.
And the other one, I could have signed a $10,000 client with that one phone call. So it's all relative.
Yeah. One thing that I learned by doing these priorities and these non-negotiables, when I started tracking this, and this is when I had a building company before this one, and I was always asking myself, why can't I make more money? And then I did this priority thing and went, well, I've got no room to get more clients. So I wanted more clients, but I didn't have any room to put them in. So it made me reevaluate the types of works I was doing.
Yes.
And I actually discovered that the huge jobs weren't the ones I wanted. They took too long and I didn't get any money.
Exactly.
And it taught me a lot. And I was able to then pare back the type, really hone in the type of client that I wanted.
Yeah.
And it really made things really crystal clear. And once I went, that's the type of client I want, then I was with a consultant like yourself and said, this is the type of client I want. Yeah, I don't have them all yet. How do I get there?
Yeah.
It's all you do with your clients.
Michael,
I know you do.
You know it, and I preach it.
Yeah.
We preach it as a firm to all our business clients. When we started, as we said before, you go out and just get anything and anyone to get any dollar. which is
truth.
Survival of the fittest, then you have to do it. Then it comes to a point where, hey, this is working, but I'm spending 100 hours a week working and it's not really generating into my bank account.
Yes.
Okay, so then we did that whole reevaluation, go, cool, who is exactly the type of people we want to see? Yes, we've got that arm of being, small business specialists.
Yeah.
Small business can range from your at-home mum selling Kayani health products,
Yeah.
multi-level marketing, or it can be a doctor surgery down the road. Small business, totally different realms. So we've gone, hey, we don't want to deal with those people. We want to deal with more this side of people and in the business scheme. So we've ranged our target market through Facebook and Instagram marketing, especially, and YouTube marketing as well.
Yeah.
Who are the people we want to attract with these business posts that we do, or business marketing that we do? So we target the health, wellness and fitness industries, because we've got a passion for that industry. I love being fit, healthy, whether it's fitness wise or whether it's body wise, keeping your body in tune with physios and chiros, dentists, doctors, all that stuff. I'm very passionate about all that. Then we've got the construction industry, the trades, the electrical companies, the plumbers, the builders, carpenters, mechanics.
Yeah.
I find the trade industry is so important to this world, as in a personal level, not just a business sense, but because these are the people that keep the community going. And unfortunately, there's a few building construction companies not doing so well, so maybe they needed better advice from their consultants, but we won't talk about that today. And finally, the food and hospitality industry.
Okay.
One, I love food.
Yeah.
I love food. But more so as an accountant, I love the back end of the food industry, because in the kitchen is where you make all the money. Or if it's a coffee shop, it's the barista level. You make all your money there. One wrong tweak at that point, you've made no profit or you've made a loss for the year. You may be generating a lot of money, but if you've got product wastage, if you've got the wrong cook or wrong chef in-house, that's not doing the right menus at that point in time of the season, it can be a downfall. So I just really, this is where I like going into the fine-tuned levels of business and where my passion and my skill set really shines anyway. So I love digging down and almost making it uncomfortable for the business owner.
You said an important point there as we're going to wrap this shop, and that was passion. At the end of the day, you get your passion in these areas that you absolutely love.
Exactly.
And you can then, as you said at the beginning, you grab everything and everything. We all do that. We all make money. But then you start to go, okay, here's my groups that I'm really passionate about. And so you can start to prioritize to how to get them. Absolutely fantastic talking to you.
Thank you,
Bobby. So what did you call them again? The non-negotiables.
The non-negotiables, your daily rituals, your daily habits. Make sure that you write them down, discuss them with your partner if it's a personal thing, or if it's a fitness thing. Make sure you write them in your calendar. And if you want to read 20 minutes a day, I need to re-enter that into my calendar, because I need to do it.
And to talk to you, Bobby, what's the best way of contacting you?
Ultimate Tax and Advisory. We're on Facebook. You can call us on 6144 3370 or email us office@ultimate-tax.com.au. Hey everyone, it's welcome back to the Ultimate Business Show. And a new thing that we've got is we're talking about questions from clients or potential clients and viewers of the show. Actually today we've got a question from Jacob in Queensland, in Brisbane, Queensland, over on the East Coast. And he's written in, Bobby, I've been watching your show. I've just started my own carpet cleaning business, and I'm on the web and on Facebook, and I see all these business coaches and these gurus and everyone saying that, oh, you can make a 7-figure business in 6 to 12 months. And he's asking me, is that true? Okay. Depends what type of business. I understand that you can turn over a lot of money in 6 to 12 months. You may turn over 7-figure business in the first 12 months, depending on what your business is. That doesn't necessarily always turn into profit. So I'm a big believer of, hey, let's look at your profit, not worry about your turnover, because your profit is the thing that counts. That's money in your pocket. But in my personal and humble opinion, no. I don't feel most business owners out there have the skill set, have the systems, have the processes in place
in the first 12 months, especially if you haven't owned a business before and don't have that business mindset, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's very difficult to make the 7-figure business in the first year. You have to have a proper sales team, you have to have proper staff, you have to have proper process and procedures. Most importantly, your marketing needs to be impeccable. Now, when you're starting out, you don't have all these skills. You don't know what the marketing, you don't know what your clientele is going to be. So unless you're a massive, for example, like a retail store that you're starting at, you're going to go with volume out there and you can sell the product, yes, you can. But if you're generic carpet cleaning business, might be quite difficult. But in general, no. I feel that that's a big goal to make in the first 12 months. Yes, I'm a big believer of setting great goals, but I think they also need to be realistic. So Jacob out there, mate, I'm sorry, it might be a bit of a dream, but hey, if you get there, let's talk more. So this is how I would start your business. You've just started, so let's look at getting your systems in place. So make sure you're getting all your equipment first. Obviously, you may have that. You may have bought into a franchise model that supply all that with a bit of marketing. So that's already a good step. Second step would be get the right team. If you're just doing it yourself, husband and wife team works fantastic. So make sure you've got the great support behind you when you're growing your business. 3, get the right marketing out there. Whether it's yourself, a DIY, or whether you outsource that marketing to a professional. Make sure that you get someone that understands your industry and really understands you as a person and as a business owner to who the clients are that you really want to attract to your business. So whether it's residential, whether it's commercial, totally different story, total different target marketing. So they're the 3 main points I'd like to give Jacob out there to see how he can look forward to making that the success of that 7-figure business. If anyone else would like to send a question to the Ultimate Business Show, please email me office@ultimate-tax.com.au or send us a message through our Facebook page, Ultimate Tax Advisory.